Can't get enough sports shorts? Tune into Sports Shorts TV on Cox HD Channel 1013 Mondays at 8, Tuesdays at 9, and ETEL Channel 4. That's 52 weeks a year to get educated on sports by the best. Joel Davis and Ronnie Rance.
Welcome, everyone, to this week's edition of Sports Shorts TV, presented by LeBear's Casino. Ronnie Rance alongside Joel Davis. Hope everybody had a wonderful Mother's Day weekend. I know some people were able to be with their mom. Others had to do the video conference call. I thought the best Mother's Day thing I saw online was Billy Cannon's daughter, Bunny Cannon, actually covered her mom up with a sheet and then gave her like a big, long, extended hug, because obviously she's in her 80s and, you know, in that sweet spot for possibly getting sick. So she didn't want to get her mom sick, hadn't been able to really touch her mom or hug her mom over the last number of weeks, and she just couldn't take it anymore. So on Mother's Day, she literally covered her with a sheet, gave her a big hug, and posted it on social media. I thought that was pretty cool.
Well, I mean, you know, to a mother, I mean, if she got sick, it would still be worth it.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
I mean, you think about it that way. You're 80 years old, and you only have so many years left on this planet anyway. You know, I can't imagine being in those shoes and not having my children in my life at that point. I'd be like, look, man, if I get it at this point, you know, we've been without each other for a month and a half, so
Right.
be it. I want a hug.
Well, I had a great Mother's Day. Went over to Lafayette, spent it with the brother and his family, and then I got to see my mom and dad and visit them. So we spread the COVID amongst the ranches in Lafayette, but it was well worth it. What did you do? What did you have on
I had
tap?
everybody over at my house, had my
The new house.
the new house.
Officially in.
Yeah, we're in. We're in.
No more like the
No.
plumber didn't show up.
No, we're
nothing.
good.
We're good. We're living in the house.
We're living in the house. We got a couple.
99% finished.
Yeah, it's finished. I mean, we had, you know, a small little punch list. I hung for my wife. You know, I had these 8-foot teak doors. You know, got all the downstairs doors I'm replacing with teak doors from Indonesia for my factory in my village that I have over there. And the doors have been in my garage. I've hung 2. So I promised my wife that I would hang a bunch of doors on Mother's Day Sunday. I hung 5 doors.
Was it just a, you know what?
No,
It was
because
tough?
I've done it. I did it to my last house.
Okay.
But these are much bigger. These are 8
Yeah,
feet.
beautiful. I saw 'em.
Beautiful
Yeah,
doors.
real nice.
Light wood, teak. They're beautiful. Match the floors.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's taking off the hardware. It's taking off the old door. Routering out every hinge and cutting out the door hole, because none of that's there. You got to cut the door hole.
You did all of that yourself.
Yeah, of course. And I did 5
pretty
doors.
impressive.
But I've only got 3 left. I've only got 3
I couldn't
left.
hang a cabinet door.
No, you couldn't. There's no doubt. But I did that. I did that till 11 o'clock last night. So the family left around 5, and then so from 5 to 11,
You got after it.
I was hanging doors.
So if you were hanging doors on
she's
Mother's
super
Day,
happy is what I'm
yeah,
getting
yeah. And so, how happy?
I was too tired, Ron.
Of course.
I was a little dusty and tired.
Unbelievable.
So that was totally on me, because it was hey, if you hang one more.
Well, hump day's right around the corner. Good luck.
Right.
So if you were hanging doors between 5 and 11, that means once again you did not watch The Last
No,
Dance.
I did.
Oh, you did.
At 11, showered, and I did it for this show. I showered.
So you weren't
and
that tired.
I was up till 1 because I was taping it, so I didn't have any commercials.
Skip the commercials.
So yeah, I finished it like at exactly the same time it finished for the second show,
Gotcha.
which started at 11. I did watch it at 11 because I got finished at 10:30, showered, jumped on the sofa, and watched MJ.
So last, as we tape here on Monday, the last night was episodes 7 and 8
Yeah.
of The Last Dance, the Michael Jordan documentary based on that 97-98 season, the final season where they won their 6th championship. 9 and 10 coming up this week. 7 and 8 might have been the best of all the
good.
episodes.
Well, I watched it.
I don't know. I mean, it's all pretty good. This one talked about his dad's murder.
Yeah.
His time in baseball. You know, a little bit. You know, it also touched on. It was interesting. Didn't cry while talking about his dad, but he got emotional talking about, you know, how he was hard on his teammates and what drove him to be great, and you know, and because let's face it, a lot of people close to Michael Jordan, particularly in the 90s, thought of he was a jackass. You know, I mean, and if you were a teammate, he was ruthless, and I think he was also like the big bully in the park, where if he knew he was getting under your skin, he came at you twice as bad.
Well, he mentally messed with people, you know. But look, you got to be tough-skinned, man. In general, I mean, we mess with each other all the time, whether it's the show or whatever. It's like you tease people, right? I grew up being teased and teasing back like that. I know I'm not a friend of somebody unless you can tease. If we're not teasing each other in some capacity, we're probably not that close of friends. So, and I mean, we say things that really hurt people's feelings. Right. I mean, that's just what it is. You find what that person is, what they don't like about themselves, and you attack it. And that's how you know you're friends with me. Because if I don't tease you about like I mess about your hair, your bald spot, I mean, I'm coming at that, or your weight, or whatever it may be, whatever you don't like, we're attacking that. It's kind of like MJ, but now he took that to another level. But if you could look back and you would say, you know what, like when he was Burrell, he was talking about Burrell, Steve Burrell, that was
played with him in that last season, right?
You could clearly. I looked at it like this: if Jordan was coming at you in that capacity, he probably had some sort of affection towards you, or thought,
or knew you could handle it,
or knew you could handle. Well, maybe not. He wanted to find out if you could handle it, and if he kept coming at you, you either could handle it, he noticed it was going to make you better, or it ran you off. And if it ran you off, so be it. You're not strong enough to deal with it. So I understand the concept of what he was doing. He was just so great, dude, and his ability to manufacture things that motivated him. And that was another thing that was interesting, how he would manufacture issues that would make him dig deeper to be mentally and physically at all times greater than you.
Yeah, to always have a chip on his shoulder.
Always, no matter what it was.
Was what he did. I thought for me, I was playing baseball during the time of Michael Jordan's, exploring that side of him. And there was always so many rumors about why he chose to walk away from the game after the '93 finals when they beat the Suns. They won their third championship in a row, and then his dad passed away a few months after, and then he ended up playing baseball for the Birmingham Barons. And actually, Mike Soroka, who was a great pitcher at LSU and was really the reason we won that 1993 national championship, he was teammates with them in Birmingham for part of, not all of that season. And so he's got some unique insight. People forget that he purchased a bus, a multi-million-dollar RV bus, travel bus, and that's how the team got around. He wanted to be able to travel in luxury, and so those guys got to travel in a real nice bus. But Terry Francona was the manager of that team, and of course Terry Francona went on to manage in the big leagues and win a World Series in Boston. The thing that's interesting is, and I thought this was a little overblown, Michael Jordan hit 202, the Mendoza line. He was just slightly above the Mendoza line, which is the 200 average. He had 50 RBI, which is a decent number, but keep in mind, they were putting him out there to play every day, because, crowds were coming. And so regardless of whether he deserved to be in the starting lineup or not, they put him in the starting lineup.
Sure.
Terry Francona said if Michael Jordan would have gotten 1,500 at-bats in the minor leagues, and I'm not 100% sure how many at-bats he got that year. I think he got 400, I believe. Or something like that. So let's just say another 3 years at least, full-time, playing every day. If he had played 3 more years in the minor leagues or something like that, he felt like he would have made it to the major leagues.
That's a huge...
Because he had that kind of work ethic, that sort of drive and ability. I disagree with Terry Francona, but for a major league manager who's been so successful, to say that is unbelievably impressive.
I mean, I'll look. You disagree with him? I'm gonna go with Terry Francona here because he is a World Series champion. He was there with him. He saw what he was capable of. I mean, why couldn't he have done it?
But who do you think? Who do you think's better, Tim Tebow or Michael Jordan?
Well,
as far as a baseball player.
Oh, I mean, Michael Jordan.
You think Michael Jordan's a better baseball player than Tim Tebow?
Hold on, let me.
No way.
Let me explain to you why I think he probably could be. Did he lack athleticism? Did Michael Jordan lack athleticism?
He did not lack
that's a simple
athleticism.
question.
No,
okay.
He did not lack
athleticism. Did he lack
athleticism.
eye-hand coordination?
To a certain extent. I mean, the guy hit 202.
Dude,
his swing was gross. It was
doesn't
an
matter.
ugly,
You can get
horrible
better.
swing.
You can get better at that. I mean, you can get better at all that. You're an athlete. Your eye-hand coordination.
6'6",
I mean, the
6'7",
dude.
whatever.
I mean,
that's a lot
his
of swing
shooting
and miss.
percent. I mean, the dude. I mean, you putting a ball through a cylinder from 30 feet consistently. I would say your eye-hand coordination is pretty damn good. I mean, maybe like eagle eye coordination, right? Because I mean, you have to have a target on the cylinder. You got one.
I got an eagle on Saturday, Sports Shorts Radio. We did our show from Greystone, and then
Yeah.
afterwards, Joel and Buzzy and I went and played a little round, and with Jacques Doucet, and
You got an eagle.
got an eagle on 17.
I had an eagle eye visual of that.
But anyway,
eagle. It flew right over my head.
We'll talk about that round in a little bit,
Yeah.
but go ahead. You're going back
No,
to
I'm
Jordan.
just-
Now you think
I
he's better
think-
than Tebow. That's surprising.
Well, I think that he
Guy hit a home run. Tebow
How-
did. I think his first at bat.
Well,
in
and
fall ball.
I'm not saying that Jordan was in his 30s. Tebow's in his 20s. It's a different caliber. Tebow to me is built more for baseball. I mean, he's built for whatever heck he wants to do. Honestly, he's an unbelievable athlete. If Tebow was coming out in the NFL today, he'd probably be a first round pick again.
Right.
Even with knowing what we knew before.
In a better system.
In a better system and given a better opportunity to be successful, he'd probably still be playing football.
Unfortunately, Tebow was forced into a system where they
Yeah.
made him be more of a pro style, where
Of
they probably
Elway.
would have went more college.
Correct.
Let him be more himself, like he should
Lamar
have been.
Jackson.
Yeah.
Let him do what Lamar's doing, Taysom Hill, etc. But neither here nor there. But to me, Michael Jordan had all the tools. I mean, his height would be the only thing that could possibly hurt him in the batter's box. Just a huge target. You know, he's got a huge frame, huge target, a big strike zone. So maybe that could have limited him. You don't see a lot of 6'6" people playing baseball. I mean, how tall was Strawberry? Daryl Strawberry. Daryl Strawberry.
6'5", 6'6" at least.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's a comparable. But he's also never stopped playing baseball his entire career.
yeah.
But he was in his 30s. But to say that he couldn't do it, I'm not saying. I would go with the professional manager / World Series champion. His thought on it rather than yours.
Well,
that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I think it's a pretty. To me, it adds to the legend of Michael Jordan. You know, regardless of whether he would have made it or didn't, or whatever. The fact that at the height of his career, just winning 3 championships in a row, the greatest player in the world, just coming off the Dream Team a year and a half earlier, and for him to walk away from the sport and to go try this dream of playing baseball, it's just
challenge.
It's amazing, and I think that. And then he shows his greatness by coming back and winning 3 more titles. And
that's incredible.
I think that is, when you start trying to talk about who's the greatest of all time, was it LeBron or was it Bill Russell or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or whatever the case may be, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. When you start having those conversations about those type of players, I think the story of MJ is the best one.
It's crazy.
The walking away, and it was a slow build, right? Like, he did it the way we went to a bad team, and then they got better, and they got better, and then they got some parts, and they got better. Where LeBron, we're not getting it done in Cleveland. We go to Miami, bring my boys in. Nothing really wrong with that. I mean, it is what it is. He took advantage of the system, but I think Jordan, to be commended, did it with his core. Went away, came back, did it with Pippen, added another piece, got rid of Grant, moved, Horace Grant out, Rodman in, same kind of guy to a certain extent. It's just pretty impressive. And I thought the documentary last night was outstanding.
Who's the most unlikable person out of all the interviews that you saw on episodes 7 and 8? Who was the most unlikable person of all those people to you?
Probably Peyton, the glove.
See, okay, that's your guy. Why?
I don't know. I thought. Well, the most unlikable would be Pippen, because of what Pippen said. Okay, they showed the 1994 when Jordan was off playing
One
baseball.
mistake. You don't like his whole.
But I think the thing about Pippen was 2 things I didn't like. One, this goes back to the whole documentary so far, and again, we're just episodes 1 through 8. And I don't hate Scottie Pippen, but dislike how he handled his contract situation. He could have let his agents handle it. He could have held out. He could have handled it a lot better than basically being the bully at the park in the last year or two in Chicago, was just kind of name-calling Krause and just kind of being a baby a little bit about it, where I think he could have gotten his extension and done the right thing had he let and it's been done now where they just don't show up.
Well, he's the quiet guy. He's the quiet guy that finally gets enough,
right,
and then he lashes out.
Yeah, he doesn't handle it the right way. But the thing
lets it build up
in 1994, when Jordan was off playing baseball, Pippen in a playoff, second round of the playoffs, with a minute and a half to go, down 2-0 in a series.
That was unbelievable.
Jackson draws up a play for Kukoc to get the last shot. Pippen's upset, and he refuses to come off the bench. And I remember watching that game.
Crazy.
I remember watching that game and seeing that happen.
How do you remember that?
Because it was such a big deal. Like, I mean, it was. I mean, there they, because you know how it is. They got the camera in the huddle, and what are they going to draw up? They got to get a shot. They're down, and then they won. It was like, wow, Kukoc is getting the shot. Pippen's mad. He stays on the bench. And that was a huge deal. And for Pippen to say, on one hand, he's apologetic that it went down, and
but yet he would do it.
He would do it the same way. He probably would do it the same way again. I mean, we're not learning anything.
No, I got you. I agree with you. I want to like him, but some of those
the equivalent to that on a baseball term as a pitcher that I was. Let's say there's two of us down in the bullpen warming up, ready to go, and I think I'm the guy. And instead they bring in the other guy, and I refuse to, continue warming up. I just sit back down and I'm mad, and it's kind of that same thing. You just don't do that. You don't do that. You don't leave your teammates hanging.
It's interesting. I mean, I agree with you.
That made him look like the biggest dummy of episode 7 and 8.
No doubt. He was totally thrown under he threw himself under the bus years ago, and they rehashed it. But
so who was your guy?
I don't like Steve Kerr. I mean,
you don't like his politics. That's what it is.
I just don't like Steve Kerr.
Yeah.
I don't like. Yeah. He just seems like a little worm. Yeah. He's just a little
pretty
wormy.
Successful worm.
He's a wormy kind of guy. He's kind of like one of those guys that's just somebody that I wouldn't hang out with. Wormy.
I think it has more to do with his Twitter and his politics.
Nothing to do with that.
Anything. Yeah,
that's his face, Ron. I don't like his face at all.
What about he punched Jordan in the face?
Jordan kind of pushed him first, and Jordan punched him in the face. Kerr pushed him or hit him in the chest. He hit Jordan. I know there's no way he punched Jordan in the face. He punched him in the chest.
He hit him in the face.
Punched him in the chest. Jordan punched Kerr right in that goofy face of his, and I'm glad that's probably why he looks so goofy. I'm not a big Kerr fan.
Amazing
every time
amazing to me that you would say anything about anybody's face.
What's wrong with my face?
I mean, come on. With Sports Shorts presented by LeBear's Casino, when we come back, we're going to talk about the New Orleans Saints schedule that came out last week. That's where we're at. That's the big sports story of the week, is the New Orleans Saints schedule. People lost their minds. I already got my plane ticket to Vegas to go see the Saints and Raiders. We'll talk about the schedule, which I think is the best home schedule for a fan the Saints have ever had. The question is, will anybody see it? If a tree falls in the woods, does it make a noise? We'll see. We'll talk about that when we return with more Sports Shorts presented by LeBear's. Sports fans, you don't want to miss the biggest celebration of the summer. It's the annual Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame Induction Weekend in Natchitoches, June 25th through 27th. The 2020 Hall of Fame class features legendary sports figures Nick Saban, Phil Robertson, and many more. Log on to lasportshall.com for more ticket information. If you're an avid sports fan, then you need to check out the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, located in historic downtown Natchitoches, next to the Chateau St. Denis Hotel and the Natchitoches Convention Center. The Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame is where the rich history of Louisiana sports is told through the pictures, artifacts, and by the legends themselves in video archives. Come to the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame and Northwest Louisiana History Museum and visit a world-renowned architectural marvel. For more information and to purchase tickets to the annual Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame events, visit lasportshall.com/purchase.
Sports fans, you don't want to miss the biggest celebration of the summer. It's the annual Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame Induction Weekend in Natchitoches, June 25th through 27th. The 2020 Hall of Fame class features legendary sports figures Nick Saban, Phil Robertson, and many more. Log on to lasportshall.com for more ticket information.
Can't get enough sports shorts? Tune into Sports Shorts TV on Cox HD Channel 1013 Mondays at 8, Tuesdays at 9, and ETEL Channel 4. That's 52 weeks a year to get educated on sports by the best. Joel Davis and Ronnie Rance.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Shorts. The New Orleans Saints Who Dat schedules come out, and I read somewhere online that they had power rankings and all that of the different strengths of schedule. And one poll had the Saints as the 26th easiest schedule in the NFL, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. I think this is actually going to be one of the harder schedules.
Why?
Well, first of all,
why do the people that analyze it?
I think Tampa. Well, everybody goes off of what you did last year, right? And we know Tampa Bay is a much better team than they were a year ago. We know that Atlanta is going to always be solid offensively with the weapons that they have at receiver and a veteran quarterback and Matty Ryan. Which, by the way, for $150, you can have a Matt Ryan signed football in a very nice plexiglass, beautiful case, perfect for display. Just hit me up on Twitter.
What about the jersey?
There. Sports. I don't have the jersey.
Oh, I thought you had a jersey
I just have the frame football. $150.
Is it a real NFL football?
It's one of those nice autographed footballs.
Oh,
like
with the white thing on it?
Yeah, white panel on one side with the NFL.
If it was a real football, I might
Tampa
buy it from
logo
you.
on the other. Yeah, 'cause the football would be worth, but Tampa Bay is going to be very difficult, both games. Atlanta's always a struggle. It's your rival, and they're very good on offense. And Carolina's going to be much improved on offense. Last year, they were garbage. They've got an offense coordinator and a quarterback that everybody believes in.
Teddy scares you, huh?
I think he challenges you,
I think
especially at home in December.
Who would know? Who would
weather,
know,
you never know what it's
Who
going
would
to be
know
like.
the Teddy Bridgewater better than anybody right now?
Saints. Right.
Okay, I'll take the Saints.
So all
Is
those.
Luke Kuechly still playing for them?
No.
Okay, I'll take the Saints.
Okay, but I mean, it's not an automatic 2-0 anytime you talk about division games.
Any division game.
Any
is
division
not,
game.
But I'll take my chances. So right there. Those are 6 games. I like my chances. The 2 Tampa Bay,
3
the
and
2
3.
Atlanta.
I mean, you go in, always your goal is to be 4 and 2
has
or better.
0 offseason with Tom Brady. You're talking about
Gronkowski.
probably not playing.
2,000
the
yard
last time I saw him weighed 188 pounds, so he probably won't be ready. I mean, he's probably getting his injections right now. He'll be ready by the season. But are they going to be ready to work
You're worried
together?
about Tom Brady and preparation? You're worried about Tom Brady and timing with receivers?
I'm worried about Tom Brady and timing with Evans
give
and
Tom
Godwin
Brady a
and all.
month. That's all he needs. He'll be fine. Because believe me, at some point, whenever they know that we are allowed to. Tom Brady's going to be in a park with 5 receivers.
He's probably
working
doing
out.
that right now.
Probably doing it right now, exactly.
Yeah.
Outside of that, you're taking on
You think he's
Raiders.
wearing a mask? You think he's wearing a mask?
No. Raiders in Las Vegas. Okay, opening of a brand new
That's the
stadium.
one loss
That's a hornet's nest.
That's a loss. I'm
Okay.
going to go ahead and tell you right now. That's a night game on the road, opening a stadium, guaranteed loss. for the
Anytime you
Saints.
play Aaron Rodgers, it doesn't matter that it's at home.
We kinda got his
Anytime you
number.
play Aaron Rodgers, it's always a
You're going to get your
game.
you're going to get your best from the Saints in that game, and that's early in the season. Fortunately, I like my chances with the Saints in that game.
Your second road game of the year is at Detroit, which should be a win.
Should be a win,
but
Matt
it's
Patricia.
also a wah.
Right.
After you've gone Tampa Bay at Raiders, Sunday night football against the Packers. Now we're noon game in Detroit against.
I
the
like my
Lions.
chances with the
Okay.
Saints in that game.
Then they come back home before the bye week and they take on the Chargers with a rookie quarterback who's a top 10
Tyrod
pick.
Taylor.
And the old Joel Davis would always say about rookie quarterbacks.
He won't be playing. It'll be Tyrod Taylor. That's what I like to say. It's going to be Tyrod Taylor.
You always are concerned about the unknown, unsung quarterback taking on the Saints defense.
Yeah. Herbert will not be playing in that game. He's not going to be ready. I know he was a top 5 pick, but he will not be starting in that game unless Tyrod Taylor snaps an ankle. That's the only way. You good? You all right? You a little sleepy?
After
big
the
guy?
bye week,
Tired?
After the bye week, the Saints.
Stayed up late last
this is
night?
where I think the Saints can reel off a couple. You go at Detroit, home against the Chargers.
Love
bye
it.
week, Carolina at home,
Win.
and then at Chicago.
Win.
And I don't believe in Trubisky.
I don't either. And it may be Nick Foles by that point. We'll see. Nick Foles is the backup quarterback in Chicago. I like. It's early. It's not going to be cold yet. Teddy Bridgewater was able to win that game last year for the Saints. Even if Drew Brees is not in that game, I feel confident that we'll win that game. Even with Winston or Hill quarterbacking, I feel good about that game.
Then the next week is a tougher stretch of the schedule begins. They go at Tampa Bay.
Still should be a win.
San Francisco at home.
Loss. They got our number,
they
dude.
Sweep Tampa Bay with Tom Brady and all his weapons.
Because I think that you're going to get Drew Brees at his absolute best.
And not Tom at his best?
No, but I just don't. He's in a new environment, a new system, a new everything. Drew Brees can sleep through that game, literally, and know the playbook and know what they have to do to beat Tampa Bay. Come on, bro. I mean, dude, I am not.
Where is this ultra positive Saints fan came? In the past, you always were scared of
because this is the year, Ron. This is the year. This is the year we're gonna finally get over the hump. We're gonna win a Super Bowl, and we're gonna get the #1 seed, and we gotta take care of business along the way. That's why we gotta take care of business. Go ahead.
The season that nobody's gonna see
in person.
Atlanta at home on November the 22nd. So you go at Tampa, then at home against San Francisco, and then Atlanta.
I like the San Francisco. San Francisco's kind of got the Saints number right now.
Their defense is amazing.
They're so loaded.
And last year when they came in, their offense played maybe its best game of the year.
Jimmy Garoppolo, plays like the greatest game of his life versus the Saints, just like Jared Goff. It doesn't matter. These quarterbacks always play their best game versus the Saints. Unless we, mop the floor.
So let me
with
mark this down.
So yeah, go ahead.
You've got the Raiders, Saints at Raiders being a loss.
And San Francisco a loss.
You got San Fran
Everything else will win.
Everything else will win.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Then
you don't even need to write that down.
The Sunday after Thanksgiving, you're at Denver.
That's going to be a tough one. You had a lot of turkey. I'd rather be playing on Thanksgiving. Mile High, your little stuff.
Could be snowy.
With the stuffings. And I like Drew Lock. I think he's a great quarterback. I think he's going to be a really good quarterback. I'll go ahead and chalk that one up as a loss too.
Okay, Denver. Wow.
Denver at Denver.
All right. Saints on the road at Atlanta.
Win.
On the road 3 weeks in a row at Philadelphia.
Win. At Philadelphia is going to be a win.
Really?
Yeah.
You're worried about you like the Saints to win at Philly, but not at Denver.
Yeah. I like Philly. I mean, that's one in the same. So you got Philly. Go ahead.
Okay. Then they come home to take on the Chiefs.
That's going to be a win. You're going to get your Saints' best effort right. Just go through the.
Okay.
Just go.
I got it. This is you.
No, what's after Kansas?
5 days later.
Who's at the Kansas City?
5 days later on Christmas Day, 3:30 Central. Minnesota Vikings. Justin Jefferson coming home.
Okay, so so you got Kansas City, and you got Minnesota back to back. All right, I'll take the loss to Kansas City, and they beat Minnesota.
We're swapping.
Swap those.
All right.
Even though I don't feel good about that because they're not losing to Minnesota again. I can tell you that right now.
And then at Carolina, the final game of the year on January 3rd.
That's a win.
So you have the Saints going 6-0 in the division.
Yes, I do.
6-0 in the division.
Do I have to say it again?
Let me write that down.
6-0
in the division.
That's right.
With a much improved division.
We say that every year.
Yeah, but I mean, Cam Newton didn't play last year. Okay, for Carolina, they got a new coordinator and a proven winner quarterback. Yeah. You've got Tom Brady coach. And a bunch of weapons in Tampa Bay.
Okay.
You've got Matt Ryan with an improved offensive line and two of the best receivers in the division. And you've got the Saints going 6-0.
Let me just tell you something. Tom Brady will not be eating W's. Okay, that's all I'm going to say.
So
about
that means the Saints are going 12-4 according to Joel Davis. 12-4. There's the schedule right there. 12-4. According to Joel Davis, hit the only losses you have, week 2 against the Raiders at the opening of their new stadium in Vegas, which, by the way, tickets for that, the cheapest ticket.
$2,000.
Are like $1,500 against the wall, upper deck, up high. I mean, lower bowl plaza tickets right now are going for like Super Bowl prices.
It's absurd.
San Francisco at home, you've got the Saints losing. So that means you've got the Saints 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7-1 going into the San Fran game, then losing to San Francisco, going to 7-2.
Yep.
Then you've got the Saints losing 2 weeks later to Denver to be 8-3. Then they come back from Denver, and then 3 weeks later lose to the Chiefs. So they win in Philadelphia, which is I think is probably a loss. So now they are 10-4, and you got them winning out against Minnesota on Christmas and at Carolina to finish 12-4, 6-0 in the division, clearly division champs, and the number 1 seed, you believe?
That's the idea.
Do you think 12-4?
I think it's a 12-4, 13-3 team. Yeah.
By the way, according to your calculations, 3 of the 4 losses are in the AFC.
That's fine. That means that's
only
gonna help
one
you.
NFC loss, which helps you in any tiebreaker situation.
And I think that this team understands the importance of getting the number 1 seed and getting that bye. Now I know that they because now the number 2 seed doesn't get a bye, right? With the new playoff bracket.
By the way, looking at that schedule right there, you see the preseason schedule, which more than likely, if anything's going to change, it would probably be that preseason schedule. I personally would be shocked if there's preseason games. There may be scrimmages, but not games.
Right.
Saints are supposed to open up on the road against Los Angeles, the Rams. But then you see they eventually come home and take on, they got the Steelers and Rams on the road to open up preseason, then they come home and take home the Houston Texans, and then the Miami Dolphins, the final 2 home games of the year for preseason. Although those games mean a lot to the owners because they get to keep all the revenue and they pay the players nothing, I just can't imagine they're going to do them.
I do think that the scrimmages could happen. I do think the scrimmages are going to happen because they're going to have some sort. They can't go into the regular season without seeing an opponent, right? I can't imagine these coaches would feel comfortable going into a regular season without seeing some sort of a challenge from an outside source. So to me, scrimmages will be scheduled. There will be no fans in the stands, and hopefully in September, mid-September, we'll be ready to go for some football. And that's super important that they get that first game in. Tom versus Drew. You don't want to. Not only that, it's a division game. You'd hate to see that game get canceled for whatever reason, because that could impact the number 1 seed and your division without having that game being played.
By the way, I have the Saints going 10-6 in my prediction. I think they win in Denver, but I have them losing at Philadelphia at the Eagles. I have them splitting with Tom Brady and Tampa, losing over in Tampa, and I have them losing against one of the Falcons games.
Well, look, let's just say that happens. Well, then the win. Then I believe that the other 2 losses. I just think that they're 13-3. 12-4 team. You can throw up this win and that loss.
You have them at 12-4.
12-4 minimum, Ron. Minimum 12-4. This team is going to be better. Going to be better than it was last year. More prepared.
I'm really
more focused.
Curious to see what the
3
offensive
years in
line
a row,
does.
Ron. 3 years in a row. They should be better. They should be better with Ruiz and McCoy. Pete. He's got it. The key to this offense,
Who's going to play right guard? They let go of Wofford
Ruiz.
last week.
Ruiz. Why would you take McCoy out of playing a position? He played at an all-star level last year.
Right.
Just makes no sense to me. And then plugging a guy in that you hope can be as good as he was. And then you're not even sure if McCoy can play guard right at this point. I just think it makes no sense moving 2 players when you only have to move 1. Would you agree with that? Why move 2 when you only have to move 1?
I definitely would try to see if Ruiz can play guard. No question. I thought you had some good things from McCoy last year. The question is, how about this? 6'3", 316 pounds. 6'3", that's what Ruiz is on paper. That's actually a little undersized for guard in the NFL.
Yeah.
At 6'3", 316, which is crazy. That's my only concern.
Well, McCoy's not bigger.
No, I'm
You're
saying,
talking about McCoy.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about McCoy playing center. My question is, and Ruiz is a center. Question is, is he going to have to bulk up, right? I mean, they got to get him to about 325.
I think, what's 10 pounds for a big fat man like that?
He's not fat. Have you seen videos of him dancing and walking around?
I've never seen, except for the mountain on the Game of Thrones, that guy that lifted 1,000 pounds.
Right.
I've never seen a man of 300+ pounds at 6'3", 6'4", that's not fat. That's not a fat person.
I disagree.
He's a fat person.
Dude, you need to watch the video. Remember the video of Ruiz dancing at Michigan in the locker room? Did you
Yeah,
see that
he's a
video
dancing
where
bear.
he prances into the locker room?
Yeah.
Tell me that guy's fat.
There's some fatness
That guy's
there.
not fat, Coach.
There's fat there. There's fat, Ron.
I'm not saying that there's a little bit of beef, but if that guy takes his shirt off at the beach, you're not going, look at the fat guy.
Without video evidence, he's a fat guy.
All right.
Maybe Alan can get on the computer in the truck and throw up a Ruiz
Not going to happen.
video.
We got the schedule up. We're very happy about that. Thank you so much, folks in the truck.
No
12-4 for the Saints.
Minimum.
10-6. He's got 12-4. I've got 10-6. Both of us making the playoffs. By the way, 3 teams from each division make the playoffs this year. So there's going to be a 9-7 team that's going to make the playoffs. Maybe even an 8-8. Whenever you talk about 3 teams, 3 wild card spots. Going to be interesting. And only the number 1 seed gets a bye. It was the first 2 teams, 2 seeds got a bye. Now it's only the number 1 seed gets a bye. That's a really big deal.
It's a huge
All right,
deal.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about what England is doing to get sports back. They've got a big announcement June 1st we'll tell you about. And also Dr. Fauci talked about the NFL season and the possibilities this fall. We'll get into, will there be fans? Will there be a college season? We'll take a page out of maybe England's book and pass that on to you. Don't go anywhere. Sports Shorts will roll on right after this.
Sports fans, you don't want to miss the biggest celebration of the summer. It's the annual Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame induction weekend in Natchitoches, June 25th through 27th. The 2020 Hall of Fame class features legendary sports figures Nick Saban, Phil Robertson, and many more. Log on to lasportshall.com for more ticket information. If you're an avid sports fan, then you need to check out the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, located in historic downtown Natchitoches, next to the Chateau St. Denis Hotel and the Natchitoches Convention Center. The Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame is where the rich history of Louisiana sports is told through the pictures, artifacts, and by the legends themselves in video archives. Come to the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame and Northwest Louisiana History Museum and visit a world-renowned architectural marvel. For more information and to purchase tickets to the annual Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame events, visit lasportshall.com/purchase. Sports fans, you don't want to miss the biggest celebration of the summer. It's the annual Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame induction weekend in Natchitoches, June 25th through 27th. The 2020 Hall of Fame class features legendary sports figures Nick Saban, Phil Robertson, and many more. Log on to lasportshall.com for more ticket information.
Can't get enough sports shorts? Tune into Sports Shorts TV on Cox HD Channel 1013 Mondays at 8, Tuesdays at 9, and ETEL Channel 4. That's 52 weeks a year to get educated on sports by the best. Joel Davis and Ronnie Rance.
Welcome back, everyone. Hope all had a wonderful Mother's Day weekend. The month of May is upon us. Over in Floribama, the bar open.
Yeah, good.
Coast is rocking and rolling. The folks are boating and skiing and at the beach left and right. Us over in Louisiana,
We're waiting.
Still on hold. The Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame golf tournament has been postponed again. We moved it from the first week of April to the middle of May over the Golden Nugget in Lake Charles. Now we're just going to throw it way out there, October 4th and 5th. So
Yeah.
Sunday, Monday, October 4th and 5th, the Sunday that the Saints are at the Lions for the noon start, that 4th, we will have a big party at the Golden Nugget that night. And then the next morning, 10 a.m. tea time with all the Hall of Famers and hopefully yourselves. We'll pass on a lot more info as we get closer to it, but I want to thank the good folks over at Relief Windows for being a title sponsor of that event. And we're now moving it out there, hopefully far enough into the future, October 4th and 5th, to where we can move forward and not have to look over our shoulder. Dr. Fauci, who of course you hear from just about on a daily about the coronavirus, had some comments that of course have gotten a lot of attention. He talked about football being played, particularly NFL football being played in the fall. And he said, obviously, if the season were to start today, it wouldn't happen. He said, he's hopeful that they'll be able to play football and probably without fans to start the season. He said he probably suggests that they test the players on Saturday night, Sunday morning, and if you test positive, then you go into a 14-day quarantine. If you test negative, then you're allowed to play that week. And they're not going to have the ability to test on a daily, but at least Saturday night, Sunday morning, maybe even once during the middle of the week or something like that, throw out a test. But he thinks that that's the way they're going to have to go. The other thing is he sees the possibility of stadiums being a third to 50% full at some point, with people seated 6 feet apart. I can't imagine all of these scenarios. I can imagine a scenario where in the NFL they start the season possibly with no fans because the TV revenue is so big they can sustain a little bit of that. But having fans come back and you got to sit 3 seats away from me and we're not high-fiving when they score a touchdown.
How do you manage that?
Yeah, I mean, what if you see a couple sitting next to each other, you run up to them, you split them up? I mean, it's just bizarre. Bizarre,
dude. This is a big giant turd, isn't it?
It is.
It's just a big fat turd, and and it's just. What do you do? What do you do? Because you got to protect people, and then people got to make money, and it's just like, man, it's just. Dude,
do you want the Saints to, would you rather the Saints postpone their season, or would you rather them play with no fans?
I'd rather them postpone it.
For real?
Yeah, I just don't think you can do it that way. I think it's either no fans.
Did you watch the XFL? They didn't have fans.
Well, I mean,
watch any of the other leagues?
But they were high-fiving. You're going to control. How do you control these people? You're going to have as much security in the stands as you are people in the stands. Just to monitor all that. I think it's either no fans, right, or or fans, full fans, or no football. I just don't see how do you manage it? How do you monitor it? How do you stop people from high-fiving? Do you arrest them? Do you separate them? Do you kick them out? I mean, dude, there's going to be no fans in the stands, or there's going to be no football.
I think you could probably foresee every fan going into a stadium for the foreseeable future. You have to have a mask.
Yeah, must. That's going to be a no-brainer.
It's going to be a cash-free environment, meaning when you go to the concession stands or whatever, you're not handling cash, you're swiping a card type of thing. Maybe they have the little Q-tip jar or the little plastic things where, okay, well, now I got to put in my PIN number or whatever. I'm using that. I go to the bathroom and there's hand-free water fountains and things, and I'm cleaning with the dryer stuff, and then you're running PSAs left and right saying, please don't touch each other, or high five or handshake or whatever. Please keep some social. I just can't imagine you playing without fans.
No, it's not
almost
work.
like it's like highlight. It's like closed circuit highlight.
These guys, a lot of these guys play for that. They play for the money and the notoriety, the fandom, and all that stuff. So, you're not going to step up your level of play to where you need to step it up, or you're going to get hurt. These guys are going to get hurt, man. I just think that you're not paying attention. You're looking around a quiet stadium. It's gonna be terrible TV. It's not going to be good TV. I mean, it's not going to be good football. I think it's either cancel or postpone. I mean, I don't even know how you postpone it. I mean, there's like for the Superdome for example, how do you postpone a stadium? There's concerts there. You have to reschedule. They're not going to do that. No, they're going to cancel, shorten season, whatever.
As much as we can't imagine NFL football without fans, they are going to play because the players want to get paid. And in order to get paid, you got to get the TV money. In order to get TV money, you got to have games.
Yeah.
So who's going to lose here? The owners. The owners are the ones that are going to lose because all that other revenue from season tickets and suites and all that other stuff that goes to the pie to help to pay all your expenses and make some money, that's not going to be there. So the owners are the ones that will basically take it on the chin for a year, and to keep the league moving forward, to keep television moving forward, to keep the players and the coaches to get paid. they're going to play with no fans before they just not play at all. And I think more than also, you may see them push back a week or two. I don't
know how you do that.
I don't think they can push a ton back.
I think you cancel a game before you start pushing an entire schedule back. There's just too many logistics that you're messing with. I mean, the Superdome, it doesn't just host Saints games. It hosts a lot of other things.
But if the Saints are not playing games in the public, then they're not going to have those other things either. You know what I mean? Like, it's a chicken and the egg. Like,
I mean,
get
why
it
not?
that you're saying, hey, the Dome is being rented out for other events and things, but during football season, the Dome really isn't rented out for
Well, no,
other
what I'm
events.
saying is if you're opening it up to the public, right, and you're letting fans in, you're doing these things, that's why I'm saying, because all those other events will be back on as well. So you're having to reschedule a lot of events if you open it up full time and just push everything back.
This was interesting. So over in England, they announced that the Premier League, their
Yeah.
NFL,
Yeah.
their soccer league, the Premier League,
which by the way is way bigger than the NFL.
yes, they are going to start June 1st. I mean, we're a matter of weeks, okay,
Yeah.
with no fans. Now, they have released a 50-page document which talks about all the thing, how they're going to get back to normal, all right? One of the things that in that document from the government of England said they're going to permit cultural and sporting events to take place behind closed doors. So that means probably concerts that will be streamed online, maybe plays, musicals, you name it, whatever cultural events are and sporting events, they're going to allow those things to be played without fans. And then, of course, if they can make it work financially, they make it work financially with TV contracts or streaming or whatever the case may be. But the fact that the Premier League is going to move forward June 1st with games without fans, that, believe me, the NFL is going to be
They're
watching, taking notes on
Absolutely.
everything, because if they can move forward, and the good news for the NFL, they're going to get a snapshot. They're going to be able to see
Sure.
for a couple of months. Believe me, they're going to learn a lot over the month of June from England on how they handle the Premier League.
Yeah.
And if it works well, you're going to see the NFL do
Well, and
the
they
same
can also
things.
adjust, based on what works and what works
Test,
and what
test.
it does work very well. This is a good mic, very good mic. They'll see they can adjust and make the moves that they need to make, that the things that do work and the things that don't work for the Premier League, that they can actually use that. It's kind of like getting a putt. It's kind of like having the same putt as somebody else on, the dude that's behind the dude in front of the dude, right? I have to, like, if I'm out, right? We're both have the same line on a putt. You're so happy, right? Because the guy behind you has to putt first.
Right. That's what the Premier League's doing.
That's what they're doing.
First.
They're putting first for the
And the
for
NFL's
the
gonna
NFL.
read it.
They're going
See
to
it.
read it, and then then they have a better shot of making the putt.
Speaking of that, let's transition. Sports Shorts Radio every Saturday morning from 10 to noon on ESPN Radio in Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
You got a chance to play golf.
Finally.
With the Buzzard and I,
Yep.
and Jacques Doucet of WAFB.
Yep.
For the first time. When's the last time you played a round of golf, realistically?
Oh, gosh, it's been-
a year?
Uh,
Do you know if you played in the fall or the summer of last year?
it's probably been 6 months.
You played in the
around.
fall? So you
I've
think
probably
somewhere?
well, let's just I've probably played 2, maybe 3 rounds in a year,
In a year's time.
and I
Okay.
probably haven't played in 6 months.
You were extremely disheartened, and when you found out, when you got to Greystone after the show, that the driving range was not available or
Not
open
available.
because
Not
the
open.
day or two prior they had received 3-4 inches of
And
rain.
I need.
And so the
10 to
driving
15
range, they wanted
strokes.
to make sure it didn't get all hacked up, so
Yeah.
they made it putting only.
Right.
That really caused some issues for you.
Well,
early
it's.
on.
Do you really want your first swing after 6 months to be off the number 1 tee?
Right.
I just want to kind of just get my timing down, right? Because I feel like I have good timing, but it would just been nice to hit. Like when I go to the driving range, I get my timing down by swinging a 7-iron first. Let me get some flexibility here. Let me, a 7-iron's a good loft.
That's what you start with?
I start with a
That
7.
goes sand, then wedge,
Do you?
then
I like 7. I like 7
Yeah.
because I think a 7 and a wedge is a lot different swing. It's a lot different swing. It's a lot
but
different.
it's the sand. The reason it makes you get down, makes you stay down lower. Where the 7, you're a little higher. So it gets you.
Everybody's
and
different.
by the way, I got my routine
Yeah.
from
Arnold Palmer?
No, from the little Spanish golfer guy.
Tiger Woods?
No, is Tiger Spanish?
Is
Really?
he not?
No, he's
Oh.
he's Filipino and African American.
Okay, that's right. You're right. I remember that now.
Sergio Garcia.
Garcia?
Yeah, I watched like the Golf Channel a few years ago, and he had like a little basic, little 30-something, 40-something, 50-something, 50-ball routine or something.
Yeah.
He does like if he's just going to get warmed
Yeah,
up to
yeah.
play, he's got to hit these
Sand wedge, seven.
wedge, 7, and so I
the
kind
drive.
of
Yeah.
somewhat emulated my.
I didn't get any
my
of that.
deal from him. Yeah.
I didn't get any of that, and I didn't play terrible. I
96.
broke 100. I mean, you take out, the 2 or 3 sevens I got, and you take out two or 3 sixes that I got. I mean, I'm close to an 89 after 6 months of not playing.
So you and I.
I feel that I could, if I played as much as you did, I'd be whipping y'all's ass. Let's just be honest.
I mean, Buzzy is solid.
Oh, yeah, he plays every day.
He's the A player out of.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't play every day, but he plays.
Seems like
he's the A player out of the 3 of us. I'm the middle player right now.
Yeah, right now.
You're the C player. I would like to see you play a little bit more. I'm
I wish I
excited
could.
you're going to play this Saturday
I
with
am.
us after Sport Church. We'll be live at Carter Plantation. You'll get a chance to
a lot
see
of
you on
water
a
there
different track.
too. A lot of water there.
Carter, not
Never
overly.
played it. Yeah, 'cause
I think
Greystone's
Greystone's
heavy
got a little
water.
more water than Carter.
Heavy water.
Yeah.
It's like leftover from the flood or something.
You're going to like Carter. Their greens are really good right now.
Oh, I
You're gonna
like a good green.
I'll say this. Jacques Doucet, coach.
You didn't like his game? I thought he had some really good shots.
He had
He
some
surprises
moments,
you. Yeah, he surprises you.
but the swing's not very. It's Terry Leon-esh.
There's
you know,
nothing's like Terry's
it's-
swing.
Well, Terry's
Nothing's-
is more feminine, whereas Jacques is just a little uncomfortable. It's not athletic. It's herky jerky.
It's herky.
Jacques Doucet swings herky jerky.
Josh,
Jacques.
you said Josh.
I did not. It's Jacques Doucet. His
Jacques
swing-
Doucet of WAFB.
His swing is
the
herky
sportscaster there.
Yeah. But he had nice new shoes he brought out. Those
He did.
Nikes.
He
brought
did.
them out.
And look, I thought he had a couple shots. I would say a handful of shots that were
handful. That's
a
5.
handful. He had a handful of
100
shots.
plus.
Out of 100. What did he shoot?
We had a lot of
Kinda
pickups. We didn't really
we gave up on that.
write it all down.
Who lost the most amount of balls? See, that's the thing. How many penalty shots did I take?
Did you
and
go
I
through a
still
whole
shot-
dozen? Did you make it through a
I
whole
mean,
dozen?
I lost at least.
You bought a dozen Callaways. Did you
Bought a
use them
dozen
all?
Callaway and did not. No, once I got to the Callaways, I was good. I went through all my old Titleist balls.
Okay.
I had some Titleist balls that were in the back. I probably lost at least six balls
Oh, more than that.
within the first 3 holes.
Yes.
Okay,
That's fair.
So I shot a 96. How many penalties did you think I took in that?
Well,
Water,
I feel
woods,
like,
out of bounds,
I feel like you lost at least 10 balls.
and I still shot a what?
96, I believe.
Pretty
97?
strong, Ron.
Yeah. You played a lot better on the back.
A lot of recovery ability.
Yeah.
In my game.
Well, I'm excited to see where it
Yeah.
goes from now. By the way, both the golf courses in Livingston Parish open. Actually, Carter Plantation is open 7 days a week right now. Greystone is open Tuesday through Sunday. And Greystone's grill and restaurant part's fantastic.
food is unbelievable.
Food's really, really good. And you can eat out on the patio
Yep.
by the pool, and it's covered and uncovered and all
What are
that.
those duck things you ordered?
The duck tenders.
Good. Good.
Yeah, it's like
And
a
the
little it's kinda
guacamole dip?
like a chicken nugget, but it's duck meat and
It's so
sauce
good. And
is
then,
great, very good.
the chef brought out the guacamole.
Yeah, yeah.
That's handmade, brother.
Yeah.
That's a homemade guacamole dip. Very good stuff.
Very good stuff. All right, Sports Shorts presented by LaBerge Casino. We'll take a break, come back with our final segment. Joel Davis, go see him at Woodhaven Furniture in Baton Rouge. We'll be back right after this.
Sports fans, you don't want to miss the biggest celebration of the summer. It's the annual Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame Induction Weekend in Natchitoches, June 25th through 27th. The 2020 Hall of Fame class features legendary sports figures Nick Saban, Phil Robertson, and many more. Log on to lasportshall.com for more ticket information. If you're an avid sports fan, then you need to check out the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, located in historic downtown Natchitoches, next to the Chateau St. Denis Hotel and the Natchitoches Convention Center. The Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame is where the rich history of Louisiana sports is told through the pictures, artifacts, and by the legends themselves in video archives. Come to the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame and Northwest Louisiana History Museum and visit a world-renowned architectural marvel. For more information and to purchase tickets to the annual Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame events, visit lasportshall.com/purchase. Sports fans, you don't want to miss the biggest celebration of the summer. It's the annual Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame Induction Weekend in Natchitoches, June 25th through 27th. The 2020 Hall of Fame class features legendary sports figures Nick Saban, Phil Robertson, and many more. Log on to lasportshall.com for more ticket information.
Can't get enough sports shorts? Tune into Sports Shorts TV on Cox HD Channel 1013 Mondays at 8, Tuesdays at 9, and ETEL Channel 4. That's 52 weeks a year to get educated on sports by the best. Joel Davis and Ronnie Rance.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Shorts. Ronnie Rance, Joel Davis here with you. Just a couple minutes left to go in the show. Don't forget Sports Shorts Radio every Saturday morning from 10 to noon on ESPN Radio in Baton Rouge. If you got one of these smartphones, all you got to do is download the ESPN Radio app on your phone. You can listen to us anywhere in the country. We talked a little bit of what?
No. We got to talk about the putter. We got 2 minutes to go. I would like to say this: you shot well, but you're not going to give me any thanks. I let you borrow my putter because you couldn't putt.
So right
you haven't been able to putt.
So right now I've got from tee to green. I'm about as good as I've been in my career on the golf course.
But
Not that I
the
can't
green
get
is
better.
bad.
But the putting, I stand over a 2, 3, or 4 foot putt with zero confidence at this point, and I'm transferring the blame squarely to the putter that I hate. But here's the thing. I paid about $150 probably for this putter.
absurd.
Edwin Watts. It was a used putter. I got there, I don't know, a year and a half ago or
Ridiculous.
something like that. I don't
Return
know.
it.
I hate it. I can't return it. But I'm refused to pay $400 for the new putter that I really like. Okay,
That's absurd. Why don't you could go to Putt and get one of their putters and you'd be better off.
So you had this rusty old Ping putter that was
It's
in
not
your
rusty.
bag that's 40 years
It's
old
copper.
at least.
It's a copper putter.
It looks rusty, but regardless, we'll
Probably
say
a
it's
400
copper.
putter in the back in the days.
It's probably 40 years old minimum, this putter.
30.
No, you got it 30 years.
I got it 20.
Okay, so 30 minimum, late 80s. I mean,
Wouldn't take
Michael
$1,000
Jordan had
for
this
it.
putter in 86, okay?
Wouldn't take $1,000 for
It's
it.
a thin blade putter, and I loved it. I think I made 7 of 8 putts with it or
did.
something. I mean, it was
But
unbelievable.
you didn't make the most important
I
one,
had a chance
did you,
to
Ron?
shoot 39 on the back, and I missed about a 4.5 footer.
And we also
And I
had
shot
money on
40.
that shot,
Yeah,
did we
yeah,
not?
yeah,
And
I
you
lost some.
your sphincter tightened up so much that you wet the bed. You didn't make. Not only did you not get your 39, you lost money to the hog. And I enjoyed and you missed it with
You
my
play
putter.
golf 3 or 4 times a year. I'm willing to pay you $150 for that putter.
I wouldn't give it to you for $1,000
Why?
because I love that
I'll
putter.
give you my putter and $150.
I wouldn't take your putter if you gave it to me. It's a terrible putter. It's got golf balls on it. Like that's going to help you line up a
I
putt.
don't understand why you need that putter.
Because when I putt pretty good with it.
But
I made a lot of
a
putts.
year. It doesn't even matter.
But when I play, I
need
want to
you
play
do me a favor. When you
great.
go home, take some good pictures of the putter. I got to find it online. I need
never
somebody
gonna
out
find
there to help me get that 40-year-old crusty
Copper
putter. You
putter.
got.
Ping putter.
It's a Ping something. It's not even a Ping Zing. I don't know what it is.
a
It didn't
copper.
even make it anymore. All right,
Copper.
Sports Shorts presented by LaBerge. Hope everybody has a wonderful week and work on your golf game. Why don't you?
Sports fans, you don't want to miss the biggest celebration of the summer. It's the annual Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame Induction Weekend in Natchitoches, June 25th through 27th. The 2020 Hall of Fame class features legendary sports figures Nick Saban, Phil Robertson, and many more. Log on to lasportshall.com for more ticket information. If you're an avid sports fan, then you need to check out the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, located in historic downtown Natchitoches, next to the Chateau St. Denis Hotel and the Natchitoches Convention Center. The Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame is where the rich history of Louisiana sports is told through the pictures, artifacts, and by the legends themselves in video archives. Come to the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame and Northwest Louisiana History Museum and visit a world-renowned architectural marvel. For more information and to purchase tickets to the annual Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame events, visit lasportshall.com/purchase. Sports fans, you don't want to miss the biggest celebration of the summer. It's the annual Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame Induction Weekend in Natchitoches, June 25th through 27th. The 2020 Hall of Fame class features legendary sports figures Nick Saban, Phil Robertson, and many more. Log on to lasportshall.com for more ticket information.
Can't get enough sports shorts? Tune into Sports Shorts TV on Cox HD Channel 1013 Mondays at 8, Tuesdays at 9, and ETEL Channel 4. That's 52 weeks a year to get educated on sports by the best. Joel Davis and Ronnie Rance.